Hey guys, so today we're going to be dealing with simple interest as part of interest and depreciation. So let's go through the prior knowledge that is required. You should have a basic understanding of formulas, equations, and percentages. Some theory behind simple interest. Simple interest is also called flat rate interest in some textbooks or some other avenues. And the word or the acronym PA refers to per annum, which is per year. Now, in all of our questions that we will be doing moving forward, we're going to use the formula I equals PRN, where I is interest, P is the principal or the original amount that we have, R is a rate, and we always write this as a fraction, and some textbooks will say write it as a decimal, it's the same thing, and number of periods. So let's jump straight into the examples that we have here. The first example, Sam invested $16,000 at 3.8% per annum or per year, flat rate interest for 3 years. How much interest did he earn? So this question's asking me to figure out how much interest he earned. Now we know we're using the formula I equals PRN, where P is your principal. And so the principal here is 16,000. So we have I equals 16,000 times the rate, 3.8 over 100. Remember, I said write it as a fraction, because that's the percentage, times n, which is 3. So when we type that into the calculator, we get $1,824. That's how much interest he earns. The next part of the question says, what was the total value of the investment? So not only is he going to have the original 16,000 that he had, but he's also going to have the interest in there. So it's going to be the 16,000 plus the interest, which is going to equal 17,824. So two different types of questions there. Let's move on to question 2. Simon invested $32,500 at 3.8% per annum flat rate interest for 17 months. So now we're looking at not years, we're looking at months. You have to understand that the interest rate is per year, per annum, but the N is in months. So we have to convert the interest rate into months as well. So we start off with our original formula, I equals PRN. And when things are a bit weird, I like to always write what each thing is. So principal in this case is 32500. Your rate is going to be 3.8 divided by 100 to make it a fraction. But because the rate is per year and our number of periods in month, I have to make the rate per month as well. So if that's per year, I'm going to divide that by 12 to make that rate per month. And our N equals 17 months. Now the rate's in months, not per year, but per month, and the N is in months as well. So now I chuck it into the original equation, 32500, formula, times the rate, and I'm going to use brackets here in the calculator, so BODMAS doesn't stuff things up, times 17. Chucking that in the calculator, we get $1,749.58, and I rounded that off to 2 decimal places because normally using money we always do it to the nearest cent. So that's how much interest he earns. What was the total value? Again, just like in example 1, you're going to have your original, your principal, plus the interest that he earned. And we get $34,249.58, again to 2DP because we added. So they're the simple basic questions in regards to just subbing into the formula. The last example that we're going to do is we're going to find the rate of investment here. So everything's given except for one. Now this is where we're going to need equations. So let's have a read of the question. Sarah invested $6,000 into an account for 6 years and received that much simple interest, $2,560. What was the rate of the investment? So in this case, we still use I equals PRN. And we know that in this case, the interest is given, 2560. The principal is given, 6,000. The rate is not given. We don't know the rate. And the number of periods is 6. So I chuck that into the formula, what I know. So 2560, let's move this up a little bit, equals 6,000 times R times 6. So now what I have to do is I have to use equations to simplify this. So I have 6,000 times 6, which equals 36,000. So I'll do it on this side, 2560 equals 36,000 R. And to find R, I'm going to divide both sides by 36,000. And I get R equals 0.071 repeater. Now that's a decimal. To find a percentage, I multiply that by 100. Therefore, R equals 7.1%. 1 dp. So a little bit happening there, but as you can see, quite simple. You just have to rearrange the formula. Okay, so I've written 3 questions here as a task for you to do. Just pause the screen, do the questions, and then unpause it to go through the answers. Okay, you should be done by now. There's my recommended answers. Hopefully there's no mistakes there. If there's any other questions, chuck me an email and we'll go from there. Thank you very much.